I am running a little behind. My natural alarm slept in by an hour today. So, yeah, I'm hoping I will have enough time before everybody starts waking up. Something you might notice, I am wearing different glasses. My glasses broke last night in the wildest way possible. I was cleaning them, laying in bed with my son, this little dude, cleaning my glasses on my blanket because the blanket that I have is kind of like it's really conductive for cleaning glasses. And yeah, it just snapped, like the frame broke. It's not like anything like popped out where I can just pop it back in. Like the frame separated from itself. Like the frame that comes this way that attaches to the part that is attached to right around the glasses, to right around the lenses. Yeah, it just snapped. Thankfully I have these backups. Same prescription and everything. But I haven't been to the eye doctor since like February 2020. Yeah, it's probably time to go back. But we're just gonna go ahead, roll right into this. I'm even not completely set up because why would I be? I'm even still technically in my pajamas. Hence the little stain on the shirt. But yes, so we're just gonna go ahead, roll right into it, and hopefully we can get a whole episode done before anybody wakes up. My son did just wake up a little bit ago, but he had uncovered himself in his sleep and he was cold. So I'm hoping that he will at least stay asleep for at least another hour and a half. That would be fantastic because it's only 6 o'clock in the morning. So let's go ahead, get started with this intro. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Phoenix Reads. Today we are going to be reading some Whatever Wednesdays. It's just kind of, our catch-all day. Now, I don't pre-read any of the stories I'm about to read with you, so these will be a surprise for us all. I will leave any usernames in the description if you want to go leave your own opinion on their post, given it is still up. My username for Reddit is in the description. Feel free to tag me in stories you'd like to hear me read. So grab your snacks, your drink, and let's get started. I'm already getting a little tongue-tied. Fantastic. I forgot to... Whatever. It goes in order. I don't need to know. Oh. Excuse me, good sir. Hello. Hello. He's a good boy. I say as he's trying to bite my hand. No, here. Yeah, get your dragon. I bought him a dragon at Ren Fair for $3 back when we went, and it's still alive. Like, it has yet to have a... Hold on. Can I see it? Like, he's a little torn up, but I mean, to have given him to a puppy and the fact that he's still, like, in one piece, I'm impressed. There you go. I mean, to be fair, he does fairly well with his toys, so. And given most of them are soft toys. But let's go ahead and roll right into this before anybody else wakes up. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and I hope you guys are getting through the week so far fairly well. I broke my glasses last night, so I have a new pair. I have a backup pair, yeah, so I'm wearing my lesser of the two favorite glasses, and I have to admit, they don't stay in my face as well as I wish they did. But we're just gonna go ahead, roll right into it, and see where the day takes us. I regret donating a kidney to my mom. I can't even be surprised about stuff like this anymore, because honestly, it's 2023. We need to start admitting when our moms are pieces of shit. Plain and simple. 3 years ago, my 36F, mom 69F, nice, sorry, I'm such a child, was diagnosed with kidney failure, most likely due to high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes, which was poorly controlled for years because she doesn't like doctors and didn't want to be a pill popper. I want to make the comment that diabetes isn't controlled with a pill, but there actually is some now that you can take via a pill to help keep your insulin in check. But it is only for those that do fairly well on their own already. She was told she had to go on dialysis 3 days a week, up to 6 hours a day, including travel time, while she was put on the kidney transplant waiting list, which takes years to find a match on average. She was firm that she did not want to be on dialysis and told me to give her one of my kidneys. Didn't even ask. Just give me one of your kidneys. Excuse me, I need these for alcohol abuse, thank you very much. She said she had raised me and provided for me all of these years, put me through college, etc. Now she needed this from me. That's still her body. Like, just saying. Like, body autonomy here. We don't need to give away our body parts. I'd be like, okay, well, you know, a body part on the black market goes for the X amount of numbers, so you start paying me that and we'll talk about it. Or, you know, you start paying me for, like, what is it now? Like, my mom wants my kidney, but I want to be paid for it. Well, what do you want to be paid? I want to be paid in all the memories I'm going to miss out for only having one kidney because I can't drink as much alcohol anymore. I have no idea what this word is. It is a phrase. I will do my best, as usual, to pronounce it, but I do very much apologize for anybody that speaks this language that I butcher it. Falal Payiti is very important to our culture. We are Chinese American. I was taken aback by this, but after thinking about it, I also thought it was the right thing to do based on my own values. I love my mom. I care about helping people. I was already signed up to be a deceased organ donor. Plenty of people live with only one kidney, so if I can give a kidney to save someone else's life, then I should, especially if it is a loved one, etc. They make being a kidney donor sound very good in theory. People with only one kidney can live just as long as people with two, and if you ever need a kidney, you get priority on the transplant list. What they leave out is you have to basically turn your life upside down because you now only have half of the reserve. I had been completely healthy before, but only a year after the surgery, they found that my remaining kidney couldn't handle doing the work sorry, I lost my spot. It's all just one big long paragraph, so that always throws me off whenever I look away. Stop. Couldn't handle doing the work of two and was now also in the early stages of failing. I had built my life around food. I was working my dream job as a chef and ran a food travel blog as my main hobby. However, to protect my remaining kidney, I basically had to cut out meat, fat, and sugar from my diet and limit salt to just 1 gram a day, which meant I had to quit my dream job as a huge part of it was tasting the food I was serving. I don't have any other skills, so the only job I was able to get was as a secretary. Almost all of the food I can still eat is very bland, and when I do travel, I often have to bring my own food or survive on salads. And please don't lecture me about the healthy restaurants. I went to culinary school, and I can tell you that restaurant food is by definition not healthy, even at vegan/self-build healthy restaurants, and they still use high quantities of salt, sugar, fat, and umami to appeal to primitive parts of our brain that determines whether food tastes good or not. So there we go. There's a fact that some of us may have not known about the healthy restaurants. Meanwhile, only about 2 years after the transplant, the kidney I gave to my mom also failed. She would often not be taking the immunosuppressants for after the transplant because she could not tolerate the side effects. It's possible her hypertension or diabetes were still not optimally controlled, and she also did not make any of the dietary changes. See, I will talk shit about my maternal grandmother until the day I die, probably. She was a terrible, terrible person, but unfortunately, one of the things she was really good at was kind of implementing new rules. You just dropped it. And so when she got diabetes, she actually did so well. She was able to lose weight, which that's the funny story, is she always talked about how fat I was, even before I was actually fat. And she was always way bigger than me up until like shortly she got diabetes. And then she actually started losing the weight. So it was kind of one of those things where it's like, now that I'm looking back on it, I'm wondering if she was projecting. Oh well. She is now back on dialysis and the waiting list. I mean, that's kind of what she fucking gets, right? I'll probably get flack for this, but looking back, I cannot help but think it was not worth it. I bought my mom maybe 2 extra years at the cost of 30 years of my life or more that would have been free from worries about chronic health problems. I also lost my career, my main hobby, and my husband. That motherfucker left you? And I had been thinking about starting a family, but my doctor told me it would not be advisable for me to have children. Can you not fight with your sister, please? Not right now. Yeah. For me to have children. I was previously healthy, but am now on several medications. I hate when that. Okay. To try and stretch my remaining kidney as far as possible before I have to go on dialysis. And even if I do get a kidney transplant, I will have to take strong immunosuppressants with significant side effects for the rest of my life. Unlike the benign blood pressure and sugar meds my mom could have just taken like she was supposed to not be in this position in the first place. My mom lived a full life, almost 70 years, and to try and buy her a few more years, I feel like I cut mine in half. Edit. Wow, was not expecting this level of support and positivity. It really means a lot to me. To address a few points that a few people have asked me about, yes, I am talking to a therapist. A big question that we are working through is, was my decision to donate really my own based on my values, or was I influenced into it by my mom and the norms of how I should behave towards her? At the time, I tried to weigh the two separately, but my therapist has helped me identify ways that her values might have been speaking through me unconsciously, best case, or ways she could have been deliberately trying to manipulate me, worst case. I'll keep you posted. Something that therapy has also helped me to crystallize. A core value that a lot of my beliefs stem from is that a year of life for me is not special or worth more than a year of life for anybody else, and vice versa. But just looking at it objectively, my mom does not have many years left, regardless of whether she got a kidney, while I still had a lot of years to potentially lose by giving one away. So even just based on that, forget anything about rare complications or transplant rejection. If I hadn't had this mindset then, I probably would have said no. I think that's all something that we should think about too, is no matter how rare can you stop? No. No matter how rare the side effects, the bad side effects are of doing something like this, we still need to realize that it's never zero. And no matter what kind of good intentions we have for stuff like this, we do also need to remember when we're putting our own lives in danger. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a donor too. Like, I have it on my license that when I pass away, please, if my organs can help somebody, I want them to help somebody. I go and I donate plasma twice a week, every weekend. It's not that that's like anything crazy, but like it's kind of one of those things where you have to think that, hey, it's okay to be helpful, but at the same time, we also shouldn't be putting ourselves at risk either. Unless we know with 100% certainty that everything's going to be okay. We have to think about stuff like this too. And especially who it's going to. The fact that her mom didn't want to even take the precautionary steps, it would make me wonder if she was going to take the aftercare steps just as serious as they need to be taken. As for my current job, secretarial work isn't what I find stimulating. When it became apparent that I would have to switch careers, I considered going back to school to do something with technical and leadership potential like I had in the kitchen, maybe engineering, or even as a long shot, go to medical school. But I had to suppress those notions, as the reality was I could not afford to take risks like go hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt for 4 to 8 years. I needed a job that I was qualified for now and that would provide health insurance for my kidney condition. That I wouldn't lose because I could no longer do the job if I got sicker. There aren't that many jobs that offer that anymore, so I consider myself lucky that I even found this. That's heartbreaking. I hate stories like this where you do everything right, you do what's good for somebody else, and it comes back and just like life shuts a door in your face like, nope, go fuck yourself. I'm really hoping that this leads to something better for her and into something like a wider spectrum of something great for her. I really, really do. This one sounds interesting. I'm just making sure he's not chewing on the pillow. My ex-girlfriend got revenge on me, and I'm so broken. This does come from Best Redditor Update. So did the previous one. No, I don't think the previous one did. God, I didn't realize how long that one was. Nope, it just came from r/confessions. This one does say ongoing. I think I got this from the Reddit Facebook page. So everything I have is everything I have. It does say that the mood is vengeful, so I think that's what caught my eye. I do have a trigger warning for this, so if you want to skip this story, please listen to the trigger warnings and make your decisions from there. The trigger warnings are miscarriage, infidelity, body shaming, eating disorder, and verbal abuse. So, again, if you need to skip this story, please feel free. I, M25, have been with my ex-girlfriend, Carly, F23, for nearly 10 years. We were high school sweethearts, and we had a good relationship up until after she completed college. Adulthood had been putting a strain on our relationship, so bills and finding sustaining jobs had been a challenge. We started arguing a bunch and just started overall being annoyed with each other's existence. I have definitely felt that feeling towards a significant other before. And it doesn't really ever go away. I don't think anyway. We weren't sleeping in the same room, let alone be intimate. It was a tough time, to say the least. We tried therapy, and I felt like it wasn't working. But honestly, I wanted to be done. So then you should have been fucking done. But I couldn't break up with her because we lived together and she helped me get out of debt. You can still break up with somebody. I've broken up with people I lived with. It's just a pain in the ass to find a new place to live. Yeah. So I did something horrible. And I started cheating on her with her childhood best friend. Man, this man's a piece of trash. I need to get like a little trash can to hold up at this point. Shit. I thought she would never find out, and gosh, I was wrong. No fucking shit. They always find out. It always comes out. I don't know why these idiot people are like, I'm gonna cheat on my significant other, and I don't think that they'll ever find out. It always comes out, you fucking idiot. You fucking eggplant. Sorry. My husband and I have this thing where we decide to insult other people using like vegetables. So, fucking eggplant is my favorite by far. Yesterday afternoon, I came home and she wanted to talk, and without hesitation, she jumped straight into it and asked me point blank if I was cheating on her. And of course, I tried to lie, and she just starts laughing and says, I knew you weren't going to admit it, but I was going to give you the benefit of the doubt, so now I just feel less guilty. I just confessed to her, and she just looked at me and didn't have any expression nor speak. When I finished, she just laughed and told me that I would never forget it. Honestly, it's fine. Are you dropping it? You're losing it down the couch, dude. Honestly, it's fine because Louie was over last weekend and we had a great time. My heart dropped to my stomach because Louie is my big brother. I thought it was a low blow on Carly, given she knew how insecure I was about my brother. He's the golden child and literally always did things 10 times better than me. I'm stuck having to have some sort of relationship with him, and meanwhile, she can just drop her friend. My chest and heart has been hurting so much since I found out, and I'm so broken. I know I was wrong for cheating at first, but if she knew, why didn't she just break up with me first? I called out of work because I feel like throwing up just thinking about it. Okay. So you cheated because you were falling out of love with your girlfriend, and you guys couldn't stand each other's existence. And you never would have found out had she not told you. But you're upset because she found out that you cheated on her, and instead of just breaking up with you, like you maybe should have fucking done when you started cheating on her, or before you started cheating on her. Now you're all like, I can't believe she slept with my brother. You slept with her fucking best friend. It's almost kind of on the same fucking level. Edit. I did not intend for this to be a viral post. I'm just extremely hurt and I get fucked up. Also, yes, I know she did it because she offered video proof and my brother has been dodging my calls. I'm going insane right now and all of you people here are just obsessed with kicking me while I'm down and it's fucked up. Oh, sweetheart, you've never posted on Reddit before, have you? Like, I get LOL, so funny. She won, good for her. Also, with the debt she helped me pay off, she just did it from her inheritance. I didn't ask her. If she asked for the money back, I will be willing to set up some payment arrangement with her. Me, plot twist, his ex-girlfriend responds. Yes. Oh, did we have a date for that for the way this first one? Okay. So this first one was posted from the boyfriend's perspective on May 4th of this year. The girlfriend responded May 8th of this year, 2023. Please do not feel bad. Oh, so it has been brought to my attention. My ex-boyfriend came on here to whine to y'all. Please do not feel bad for him because that man quite literally left out so many things in his post to try and make me seem like the bad guy. If he wants to talk about our relationship to a bunch of strangers, fine. Yes, Mike was right about one thing. The relationship had been strained because of bills and finding well-paying jobs. That's literally because he's refused to work since 2020 when the virus started initially. We've been living off my CNA paycheck and the money my dad inherited to me. The only thing this man freaking did was stay in our guest room, play video games, and live stream to his 10 viewers on Twitch and make absolutely no money. I mean, hey, I would be absolutely fucking boinked if I had 10 viewers while I was streaming on Twitch. Just saying. Wink, wink. Not only did he have the audacity to make zero money, but he got $8,900 in online gambling debt. Then I gave him the money to pay off, like the idiot I am. So yes, I was heavily irritated with him, given I was in nursing school and working the same time. Sorry, I accidentally backed out. That's not even the icing on the cake that he had conveniently left out. I was supposed to be expecting our first child this summer, and I unfortunately miscarried. Instead of comforting me like a decent human being, he degraded me, blamed me for overworking myself, and said I caused the miscarriage myself. He randomly refused to sleep in the same bed as me until I later find out he didn't find me attractive anymore and that he was disgusted by my body. I was depressed for months leading up to this and cried myself to sleep because I felt like I wasn't even good enough and developed an eating disorder. I guess he felt like verbally abusing me wasn't good enough, but started having an affair with my best friend since kindergarten. He was so stupid to leave his iPhone messages and iCloud synced to the iPad, so I knew everything he was saying about me. I was depressed for 3 weeks before cheating on him and hoping it was just a bad dream that a boy that was my first love and everything could hurt and hate me so much. So yes, last weekend when he said he was going out of town to see his dad, I knew he was lying and was going to actually go spend the weekend with my best friend. So yes, I called his brother over for help to install something, and his brother always flirted with me, and I knew Mike was always jealous of his brother. It's quite pathetic when you think about it. His brother is on track to be a doctor and has had multiple full-ride scholarships to multiple schools and is everyone's obvious choice between them. So yes, I screwed his big brother all weekend, and it was the best I felt in a long time. Is that morally wrong? Probably. But I needed to do it for my own sanity and to burn that bridge with our relationship so I can be done completely. The rest is directly to Mike, since he blocked me. You don't get to go play the victim online and act like you weren't actively trying to break me for these past 3 years. You made me feel worthless and that I wasn't good enough to get anyone else besides you. I hate that I wasted so much time on you, but now I realize I wasn't the problem. It was you. I hope you get help because you're actually a narcissist, and I pray for any other girl that comes in contact, besides fucking Annie, because you guys deserve each other. P.S. Give me back my damn dishes, pots, and knives. You know your ass didn't buy them, let alone use it. I love it. I love when, will you stop it? I love it when people that get cheated on have that little moment of, you know what? You want to go around and lie about me, and that's fine, but we're going to at least set things straight. I love it. I love it when stuff like that comes together. It just makes me feel all nice and warm inside. Both of these have been fairly long, but because the petty revenge ones are usually fairly short, we're going to do one more in this catch-all folder, and then we'll switch over to petty revenge. Because it's Wednesday. Dusty, come here. You're fine. Come here. He's trying to get off the couch, and our older cat, Sky, is down there meowing at him. I'm sure you hear it in the background. Hey, you're fine. Lay down. Look, I got your bone. My F-22 fiance, M23, gave me an ultimatum to not use the gym anymore, or to not use the gym because it makes him insecure. This says inconclusive. What are you doing? I am not the OP of this post. Oh, it just... her original post released 2 months ago. Her update came towards the end of May, and she is looking for support advice. I got her permission to post before I did, and she said it was cool. She didn't make a separate post for her update because she didn't want to get lewd messages like she did previously due to the activity/hobby she does, and the post will give better context. Come here, you're okay. Her original post was posted April 4th of 2023. I haven't found the courage to approach the subject with anyone in real life yet, and I'm breaking one of my rules by asking here. But I'm deciding to do so in hopes of attaining advice that I can bring to my current situation. I met my fiance during freshman year of college, and we have been together for 4 years. When he proposed, I told him yes, but I also told him that I needed to tell him something that I struggled to find the right time for. I told him I feel guilty for not mentioning it sooner, but that there was a reason for it. My assumption is that the same will happen here as I say what it is in DMs, but I hope to still find advice. My parents enrolled me in a circus camp in middle school, and it's been part of me ever since. I continued high school. Hey, come here. Come here. You're okay. Sky, stop. Stop picking on him. He's just a baby. She's such a brat. She's sitting like right near the water bowl. Sky. I had to throw a toy at her so that way she would leave the water bowl because he's trying to get a drink. Gosh. Okay, hold on, sorry. And it's been a part of me ever since. I continued in high school and even in college in a studio on the side of my studies. But I learned rather early to be careful who I told. Once I posted a recital performance on my Instagram, but I received some lewd DMs, and this was during high school. I also told my boyfriend during high school sophomore year, and that led to him constantly making sex jokes about me, even when I asked him not to. I practice hand balancing and contortion, and I rarely tell anyone for that reason. Oh, this poor girl. Like, you can't even have a hobby without, like, I feel like no girls can have any kind of hobby anymore without it, like, getting turned sexual on them, and that's really sad. However, what hurt me the most was when my high school boyfriend tried to force me into positions against my will when we were home alone and tried to rape me. I would have quit if not for my parents. Long story short, my parents backed me up and helped me pursue action, but I don't want to make this about that. I wanted to quit, but my parents encouraged me not to, and I'm glad that I didn't in hindsight. It took over a year off from practicing until coming back to it, and I felt really strong for going back. However, I didn't tell my fiance about the circus for a few years until after he proposed, and I knew I could never put it off anymore. He knew about the boy who tried to rape me, but I never told him that it was because he sexualized my practice or that I practiced contortion at all. I was afraid of telling him that I did circus after what happened last time, but when we talked and I told him, I soon regretted doing so. He seemed to understand and listen when I told him everything shortly after he proposed. And I even mentioned how I went to therapy on campus too. He didn't have much to say afterwards, but he said it was good I talked to somebody. I thought we were fine. Dusty, get out of there. He's walking around the camera. He said it was good I talked to someone. I thought we were fine until he wanted to talk a few days later and said it was on his mind. He said he appreciated me being honest, but that he wanted to be honest too. He reiterated that he was sorry for what I went through, but that he doesn't want me to stretch at the gym after work because people may sexualize me again. Because I'm more flexible than most. Because many people may sexualize me again because I'm more flexible than most. I told him that I only do basic stretches after doing the treadmill to cool down and nothing circus-like. But he said he felt insecure about others looking at me and that we should compromise after he heard me out. He also said he didn't think we should put our kids in circus because people might sexualize them too. That one I can kind of understand, but at the same time, I feel like as long as you keep that open line of communication and, you know, kind of like when they get to be age appropriate, kind of let them know, like she could share her, Dusty, stop going under there. She could share her experience and like hopefully like help them realize like, okay, hey, like if something like this starts to happen to me, my mom's already been through it and I can talk to her about it. But when I told him that we can't stop living because of other people, he said he wanted to agree on that before marriage, and I'm honestly surprised at his opinion. He's usually understanding, but he's been firm on this when I asked to talk again, and he said only if I changed my mind. That is don't marry this man, please. Please don't marry this man. I feel that it's good we're talking about this before marriage, but I also feel like I'm never going to get married because this is the second time it's been a thing and he's refusing to change his stance. How should I progress since he won't change his stance? And how do I cope with this feeling like I'll never get married without giving up what I really enjoy? I know there's no future if he won't change his mind, but I'm nervous to tell him that I won't budge. There's an update post on May 22nd of 2023. It's been a minute since my first post, but I wanted to update here because I got the best advice here. I thought about making another post for the update, but that would probably come with more lewd DMs that I ended up receiving after my first post in a different sub because I mentioned I practiced contortion. Sorry. He's being all weird. So I'll just add to it here. We're no longer together as of now. Thank God. How long was there? What was the difference? Between April 4th and May 22nd. So almost a month and a half. Almost. I mean, honestly, thank God, because he did not sound like a great guy. Like, I can understand being nervous that somebody else will sexualize your significant other, but at the same time, you have to put in the trust that your significant other isn't going to do anything if approached by said person. Because, surprise, you can't control what other people think. And if you sit there and live your life so terrified that of what other people think, you're never going to live. It took me a really long time to kind of come to terms with that. So I hope it helps somebody else, just anybody else. You can't live your life being terrified of what other people would think. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on a lot of fun things. So I'll just add to it here. We're no longer together as of now. When I asked if he wanted to talk again, he asked if I changed my stance, and I said no. That made him say we had nothing to talk about, and he said it was best to call things off. I've talked to my parents since my post, and they've been helpful with canceling everything. My ex-fiance didn't make canceling difficult, but it's been really hard since. I wanted to update sooner, but honestly, I wasn't in the mood. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. I've honestly struggled to do much since the breakup, but I understand that it was for the best. I've been unable to get out of bed on some days, and I use a lot of PTO to take time off. I wanted to get therapy, but I've been unable to find one that accepts my insurance so far. And I don't have a full-time job. I have full-time hours some weeks, but hours are really inconsistent. Performing also brought in a bit of my salary too, but I haven't had the motivation to practice either. I've kind of been depressed thinking that I'll never marry, although I know it's not true because I'm young. It's just been tough because it's the second time someone has sexualized me because of what I practice, and it's honestly tiring. It's all I could think about when I tried to practice recently, and I'm not sure if I should hide my passion from my next partner. I don't think I should, because I shouldn't have to hide it, and odds are probably low that the next person being the same. Sorry, where I had a screenshot at, it was weird and it threw me off. There we are. It's just the second time that it's happened because of contortion, and I'm open to any advice on how to get past that mindset while I'm looking for a therapist in the meantime, because it's been hard to perform gigs with everything going on mentally too. There are also some additional comments that the original poster had left. It's a rule for myself that I made in high school, and others in my circus studio have similar ones. Depending on their apparatus, performers sometimes have separate Instagrams for their circus art that are separate from their personal accounts, because of many creeps will send lewd DMs regarding our performances slash flexibility. And it's fairly common to get some from time to time, unfortunately. I think no matter what you do, if you have an online presence, somebody somewhere is going to sexualize you. And as crazy as this sounds, when I first started the podcast, before I started doing like the visual stuff, when it was strictly just audio only, I had a guy, because I also posted on Whisper, because Whisper is like, it's like an anonymous app, but you reach so many other people randomly. and I felt like it was doing really well. Well, I kind of stopped doing that because I got, not just because of this one guy, but because there were people that would message me and be like, oh, like, you know, you sound really sexy. And they even went, like, this one person, like, you know, he found my stuff, and because it went to my social media, he would messaged me on Instagram and talked about how sexy I sound and this and that, and it got really weird, and I was just like, yep, cool, thanks. I have a husband, and that doesn't stop anybody. If they want to sexualize you, they will sexualize you regardless of anything. So it's hard, but it's going to happen, unfortunately, no matter what you try to do. We just have to just do our best. I even received a lewd DM on Reddit yesterday after mentioning I practice contortion. But hey, stop chewing on my scrunchie. But my rule is basically that I don't lead with telling people I practice hand balancing / contortion because of people like my ex high school boyfriend / other lewd jokes people would make in high school too. I posted here for advice because I still wanted advice, and many of the responses have been really helpful / encouraging, so I don't regret it. I still practice regardless because people will sexualize anything, like I said, but I'm still careful about who I tell, and only after I know I can trust somebody. Unfortunately, I don't think you can ever fully trust somebody with everything about you because, again, you thought you could trust your fiance, and look what happened. Stop. What is your issue this morning? You were just like all up in my space. I agree and know that we have no future, and I'm glad it happened before we were married. It's just tough having a second relationship end partially because of it. And I know that my next one doesn't view me much different because of it, so it's my hope. Wait, what? And I hope that my next one doesn't view me differently because of it. So it is my hope, although I doubt that too much sometimes, only because of my past experiences, but it's a big world too. I really hope that they find somebody that loves them for them, because it's a terrible thing to sit there and make somebody's personality all about a hobby of theirs when they don't even make their personality all about their hobby of theirs. Like, that's just wild to me. We're gonna move over to petty revenge, though. I took away all the towel seat reservations at the resort. Hey, you're fine. Chill. I was on holiday in an all-inclusive resort. First day, we couldn't find any lounge chairs by the beach or by the sea. Fair enough. We arrived in the afternoon. Next day, we go to find a spot, but most of the spots were taken by towels. We find an empty seat, and to our surprise, many of the chairs stay reserved almost the whole day or never got used. Third day, we decided to take some towels off 2 loungers and enjoy our day. 4 hours in, an older couple shows up that they had towels there and kick us off with help from an attendant. That pissed me off. So every following day, I went to take the towels off of every unattended lounger after breakfast and then went to watch the chaos from my balcony. Many people complained, and by the end of the week, there was a sign that unattended towels would be removed. Success. I mean, that's kind of what you fucking get. Because, like, why do people do that? Like, I understand wanting a safe place to, like, put your stuff and, like, even have, like, a meeting spot to come back to. Like, I can understand that. But, I don't know, it's just... Maybe just do one chair, because especially if you're not going to... I can understand getting there and being like, oh yeah, I'm going to go do this for a little while, and then I'll come back, and I'll just, like, lay down for a little while, and I want to have a chair to come lay down to. We want to lay by each other. I can understand that. But at the same time, like, if you realize, like, halfway through the day, you're not going to use it, come on, you can get up here. You can get up here. You're being a big baby. See, you could do it all by yourself. You don't need to whine. He's angry because I won't pick him up on the couch anymore because we have taken our stool and putting it right by so that way he can help himself to get up because he's still not big enough yet to jump up on the couch himself. He's still not big enough and coordinated enough to get up on the couch by himself yet, so we use the stool. And sometimes he gets mad because I won't pick him up anymore because he's still a baby, but he's a big baby. My neighbor told me I couldn't put out my trash, so I put his on vacation hold. I mean, you want to try and tell other people what to do, you better be prepared. So I rent a house with my husband and 2 of our friends. It's a 5-bedroom house. Rent is outrageous in our area. So $2,400 for a 1-bedroom. $2,400 for a 1-bedroom apartment. That motherfucker apartment better do my fucking taxes every fucking year for $2,400 a month. That is ridiculous. So we found this house for $3,000. Not a bad deal while we save up to buy a house. Okay, seriously though, if you think about it, if you do a 5-bedroom house and, you know, that's actually a much better deal than for that you'd be paying for a 1-bedroom in a 5-bedroom house. God. There are other houses in the neighborhood like this as well. Our next door neighbors, their house, as well as our next door neighbors. Their house is a 5-bedroom house, and they have 9 people living in the house. About 2 people. I mean, if it's couples, like, it makes sense. So it's chaos over there all the time. In our neighborhood, we can choose the trash company, so it just happens that we have the same trash company as the next door neighbors. Our trash company does like us to have the trash out by 7 a.m. We don't always get it out that earlier, though, and that's where this problem started. Most of the time, they don't pick up our trash till 11 a.m., so obviously, as long as the trash is out before trash pickup gets here, they can take out our trash. The people next door have 3 trash cans, and they're overflowing every single week. Well, I mean, they have 9 fucking people that live in that fucking house. I can only imagine the trash is ridiculous. They put their trash out the night before, but unfortunately our neighborhood has raccoons and foxes, so the trash is always getting into, and last time a raccoon got into their trash, it left a mess in our yard and they wouldn't pick it up. I was pretty pissed about it, but I just let it go, cleaned up their trash. I just let it go, cleaned up their trash. I did go and put it back in their trash can, and they just sat out front glaring at me while I did that. It's your fucking trash. Why would you glare? Like, just be fucking happy that you're not the ones picking up the trash. You could say thank you. Like, excuse the fuck out of me. Go fuck yourself. Here's where the incident started. A couple weeks ago, I didn't get our trash out till almost 9 a.m. All 4 of us was sick with COVID. I was on the mend and feeling a little bit better, but I slept in and forgot to put out the trash at 7 a.m. So I go to put the trash out, and my neighbor starts yelling at me saying, "You were supposed to have your trash out by 7 a.m. You can't put your trash out now." Go fuck yourself. I said, well, they haven't come and picked up trash because your trash cans are full, so it's not a big deal. He said, no, that's the rules. Your trash has to be out by 7 a.m. If it's not, you can't get your trash picked up this week. I said, I understand that they want the trash out by 7 a.m., but they haven't come and picked it up yet, so it doesn't matter. And I went ahead and just walked inside. That is so fucking wild to me that somebody is this fucking held up about trash. Why is it any of your fucking business? If it was gonna sit there for like a week or until whenever the next trash pickup is, I can understand being like, hey, like, you missed the window, like, they've already come picked it up. That's different. But it hasn't been picked up yet and will be likely picked up in the next 2 hours. Why is it such a big fucking deal? I don't understand. I went back inside, and a couple hours later, I get up to see that our trash cans were put to the side of the house, and they were still full of trash. So that means somebody moved our trash cans. Our other neighbors came up to me the next day and said that she saw him put our trash can back. She didn't know the situation, so she wasn't going to butt in and tell him not to do that. Our neighbors are also very proud about their last name. They literally have a flag on their front window with their last name. So I called the trash company and said that I was Mr. So-and-so. I thought for a second they had like the actual name, and I was like, I don't want to say their name, and needed to set up a vacation hold for our upcoming pickup. They said, no problem, we won't pick up your trash next week. They legit only asked for the address. No other information. The next week, I made sure that our trash was at 6:45 a.m. and then I sat and watched for the trash truck. And I watched them come past the house. They drove past my neighbor's house, didn't pick up their trash, even though their trash can was overflowing, picked up ours and the few other people's who also have them, and left. I know I'm an asshole for doing this. You don't need to tell me. I may have crossed the line. But he also crossed the line by touching our cans and moving them and setting foot on our property. I mean, if you don't want your trash fucked, if you don't want your shit fucked with, don't fuck with somebody else's stuff. Like, it's honestly like a plain and simple fucking thought process. Honestly. Confronted in a parking lot because I legally used a handicap spot, he wound up with a DUI, pretty certain. I'm a healthy looking 55-year-old male, but I have a degenerate nerve disorder and ataxia, balance issues, so I have a very hard time walking. I pulled into a handicap spot at the grocery store, put my placard up, and I get myself out of the car. A very angry person about my age runs up to me screaming about how I'm stealing a handicap spot from someone who needs it. As he went on, I pulled out my walker and started walking to the store as he continued making a scene. My favorite part about this is visualizing it, because all I can see is, like, as you're coming out of the store, some random ass dude fucking yelling at somebody with a walker. Like, I'm just thinking about that for a split second, and that's all I can think about. You're fine. Get your Eeyore. And so that's all I can think about is, like, walking out of the store and seeing somebody yell at somebody with a walker as they're just trying to ignore them and walk to the store. That's all I can think about, and I think it's funny. Because I'm waiting for somebody to, like, step in. As I walked to the store, a cop who just happened to be there asked what happened. I just told him some people don't get it and pointed to my walker and went about my business. About 30 minutes later, I came out of the store and noticed the guy was getting a field sobriety test. I sat in my car and watched as he eventually got arrested. Maybe next time he'll keep his mouth shut. Honestly, probably not. It's probably gonna be one of those guys where everybody's business is their business and they literally couldn't give two flying fucks. Creative ways I keep my asshole neighbor awake during the day. Can you not sniff the microphone? That would be fantastic. Thank you, I love you. So, a bit of backstory. A few years ago, we had a couple buy the house 2 up from us in our street. That was a big yawn. They did renovations for the first couple of months, 7 days a week from 6 a.m., as annoying as it is being woken up on Sunday mornings by a power saw. My fiance and I know that if you live near people, you're going to hear noise. So we just rolled with it. Everything changed after the renos were finished. The guy went back to work on night shift. All of a sudden, our street had to be silent during the day so he could sleep. How the turns have tabled. Oh, Dusty. I think he wants to go back to bed. We're almost done. We're almost done, Bubba. So the self-entitled cunt went to great lengths to get his beauty sleep. I'm sure he did. He called the police for noise complaints any chance he got. Unfortunately for him, I don't think that they can do much, because as long as it's during the day and as long as it's during certain hours, the only thing the police can do is go up and be like, hey, your neighbor's trying to sleep, can you please keep it down? That's probably literally the most the police can do. And you know why? Because it's during the daytime. And thank you. He's trying. Dusty Butt, come here. I feel like he's just sitting in the doorway whining. Come here, baby. I know you want to go to bed. You can lay up here. Come on. The good boy. Lay down, honeys. He's going to get behind me. He likes being up by my shoulders, so. Yes, I know. We're gonna read this one and then you can go back to bed. Okay? We're gonna read this one and then you can go back to bed. But I think you woke up Daddy. I hear him. My hippie neighbors who had their weekly afternoon jam session with acoustic guitars, my Vietnamese neighbors, and their god-awful Thursday afternoon karaoke, and then it was my turn. Complaint after complaint went into the council about noise from my dogs and chickens. He would walk to my front fence, wait for my dog to bark at him, and then record it and send it to the council. Oh, I hate neighbors like that. They instigate and then they fucking just blow everything out of proportion. Then he discovered my dog was controlled, i.e. not allowed out of my yard without a leash. One day, I left the gate open to bring shopping in. Cunty McFuckfaced filmed my dog walk 3 meters out of my yard to the car, sent it to the council, and I received an $800 fine in the mail. Wow. That was the last straw. Since I'm a builder, I have access to lots of noisy shit. Grinders, chainsaw, metal cutoff saws, etc. Since I own my own company, it's not always necessary for me to be on site. I waited for him to get home, gave him an hour to get comfortable, then began cutting rebar with a 2-stroke cutoff saw in my front yard in 50mm sections. It took all of 15 minutes before he bursts out of his house with his cranky pants on. I couldn't keep a straight face as I told him I was quite within my rights to do work around the house during the day, just as he had. Then I told him I'd had weeks of work to do, so I'd better get back to it. The look on his face brought me the purest joy I've ever felt. I'd give him 30 minutes to settle in then start cutting again for 10 to 15 minutes. Chainsaws, power saws, didn't matter what I cut because it was all going in the bin anyway. It was only a couple of weeks before I got bored and ran out of shit to cut. In that time, I took every single opportunity I could to drive that arsehole to insanity. Honestly, I feel like that is like some of the best revenge that you can get is just like this little petty side shit, because it's like, yeah, it sucks, but you kind of did it to yourself. Like, how unfair is it to make noise your first 2 weeks somewhere and then all of a sudden go, if everybody isn't fucking quiet, I'm calling the police on all of you? Like, I've worked night shifts before. I have worked at night where I've had to sleep during the day, and it is completely unreasonable to expect absolute silence from everybody. It's ridiculous, and honestly, it's the biggest asshole thing I could ever fucking imagine to fucking try and put somebody through. Because, like, why? Like, it's no secret, I have anxiety. I've got lots of anxiety. To help me sleep at night, I have a sleep mask that is a Bluetooth sleep mask. It hooks up to my phone. So I will use anything from podcasts, Ice Cream Sunday podcasts. No, because I actually enjoy like paying attention to theirs, so I don't use them for sleep, but I do listen to theirs every week. I will listen to like YouTube videos because I have YouTube Premium, and even if I didn't, YouTube will just play and I keep my phone plugged in, and it's a sleep mask so it covers my eyes so I can't see anything anyway. I will listen to like just like soothing sounds of like rain and fire, and that sounds bad. Fireplaces, like bonfires, thunderstorms, stuff like that. Well, hi, Sky. Are you gonna come say hi now because your brother's in the room with Daddy? And stuff like that. And it helps because it gives my brain something to focus on enough that I can fall asleep. And it's better-ish than constantly listening to the TV, I guess, to fall asleep, which is something else I would also do. Family Guy, American Dad, stuff that I've already watched previously that is comforting, and it gives me something to focus on, but yet I can fall asleep and not feel bad. So there are other like options out there, and I understand that there are people that cannot sleep with any noise, like any whatsoever. And if that's the case, like no matter what you do, you have to be able to sleep in absolute silence, you either need to invest in some very comfortable earplugs, or you need to move to the middle of nowhere, because that is absolutely ridiculous to live in like a neighborhood with people nearby and expect them to be absolutely quiet during the day. It's just completely unreasonable. All right, while that's loading, that's the end of ours for today. We're gonna go ahead. I'm waiting for this to fetch my preview so I can add my music to it, and then we will do our outro. Do you want to come say hi? Since you can actually be over here now. It's been a hot minute since you've been on the podcast, young lady. Here. This is Sky. She was the one starting shit with her brother by the water bowl. Thank you. I love you too. You're a good girl. You just ornery this morning, apparently. She woke up and chose violence this morning, which, to be fair, she wakes up and chooses violence a lot. Well, I can't really say a lot. She just likes being petty, don't ya? Say yes. Yes, I do, Mommy. I know it's pointless, but I can't help myself. I have to have it say intro, otherwise I'm gonna feel like I might get it mixed up. I don't know why, I just do. But we're just gonna go ahead and do the outro. Thanks to everyone for listening today. I hope you all enjoyed the podcast. If you know somebody who likes my content, feel free to send me their way in a share. If you would like to send me a message with your own story, rant, question, unpopular opinion, or if you want me to tell others how you fucked up today, or any day, send me a message via any of my social media found in the description. Just look for my cute little avatar you see on whatever app you're listening on. My upload schedule is every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon Central Time. Please give a rating if you enjoyed what you heard today. I hear that they help out tremendously. And as always, I will catch y'all next time. Bye! Alright, and while that's doing its thing, thank you guys for watching today. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, enjoyed what you heard. I know it was a little bit of chaotic, but when you have pets, mornings are rough. I cannot wait for school to start back up so I can start doing this during the day again and have a bit more of a normal recording schedule. That will be very, very nice. But feel free to hit any of the buttons down below here on YouTube that you will probably be watching this afterwards. The like, the unlike, the subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw, the bell icon if the bell icon is your thing, and leave a comment. What was your favorite story, or what was your favorite petty revenge? Or feel free to leave one of your petty revenges here in the comments, and if I ever get any, I'll read them next time we have a petty revenge episode, which would be next Wednesday. But I will see you guys later. Bye!